Precautions to be considered. Rainwater, before coming into contact with any surface, is normally of good quality for direct use in a household. However, its quality could be compromised if the rainwater comes into contact with contaminated surfaces. It is crucial to ensure that the roof, gutters, conveying pipes and other elements used in the rainwater collection do not contaminate the water before it goes into the storage tank. One of the main sources of contaminants of the rainwater is waste from birds deposited on the roof of the gutters. This is very common in both urban and rural areas, where birds enjoy perching on roofs for rest or use the roof as a feeding platform, especially for crows. The waste from birds could introduce bacteria or germs in an otherwise safe and high-quality drinking water. Unfortunately, it is difficult to discourage birds from perching on the roofs, and hence the best way is to manage the stored water, especially if the water is to be used for drinking. Another source of contamination is organic matter from nearby trees in form of leaves or twigs. Such leaves and twigs end up rotting and producing dark coloration and bad taste in the harvested water. Air pollutants in form of soot or other globally present airborne contaminants may find their way into the harvested water as the rain comes into contact with contaminated air masses. Some of the air pollutants may originate from far away, even from other continents, and hence one may not have control in such cases. The type and level of management of contaminants or pollutants in the harvested rainwater is mainly determined by the intended use of the water. If the water is for drinking, then more precautions need to be taken as compared to when the water is to be used for kitchen gardening. To maintain relatively high quality of the harvested water, the following precautions should be considered in order to reduce the levels of contamination. 1. The roof or paved surface where the rainwater is collected from should not be made of materials that have the potential to affect human health. For example, rainwater collected from asbestos surfaces should not be used for drinking. 2. At the onset of a rainfall season, one should not harvest and collect rainwater from the initial rainfall events in order to allow the roof to be cleaned from dust and/or any dirty deposits. 3. Make sure that there are no tall trees close to the roof gutters so as to avoid leaves from being deposited in the gutters. 4. Install wire meshes to cover the gutters in order to trap leaves as well as discourage birds from perching on gutters. Some birds could even hatch in the gutters, and hence the latter should be covered at all times. 5. If the water is to be used for drinking, then one could boil the water to kill germs and subsequently filter to remove organic matter. 6. Filtering using ceramic filters are sufficient to eliminate bacteria. 7. Treating harvested rainwater should be done using storage, because it is practically impossible to keep the stored water free from contamination.